Okay, so 4,400 class. Um, I went back and had to rewatch. I guess I caught the tail end of it on the way home Saturday, and I was so confused on what was going on. It was, um, so I guess when I turned it on, you had, um, Lauren Healy was leading, and Chaney in the Can Am in the 4,400 class was in second and was like catching him. No. Hold on. Let me take that back. Chaney was leading. Yeah, Chaney was leading. Lauren Healy passed him in the rocks, and then Lauren got a big old lead, and Chaney was going to come in second. Less than a mile from the finish line, right before you go into resolution and down back door and back into the short course, Lauren Healy loses a transmission.
Ooh.
Leading the Hammers. Loses a transmission.
Man, that hurts.
So here comes, right behind him, here comes Chaney in the Can-Am. He doesn't have a front shock now. It is, the front end of his Can-Am is squatted, dragging the ground. As he's coming across the desert, instead of going through the whoops, he's plowing through the whoops. Sand is just going everywhere. He passes Lauren, goes down resolution, takes the bypass around back door, into the short course, first finisher. Everybody is praising this man like he is the second coming of Jesus. You know, Can-Am finished first in the 4,400 race. Woo! Then, a few hours later, he's got 53 minutes worth of penalties.
Ooh.
He completely skipped one of the trails. Like drove around it.
So did he do that because of the shock,
I don't know.
or do you think he knew something was going on? And it's like,
He
well,
said in his post race interview that they just missed it. They didn't pre run lap 3 because they were focused on the UTV race, and they just missed it. But here's my thing. He comes across the finish line. They go to interview him, and the man is literally in tears in what looks like elation for finishing the King of the Hammers. Now, I've not been out there. I've not done it. I don't know what that feels like. But if you skip enough of the track to get an hour's worth of penalties, you ain't done nothing. In my opinion, you ain't done nothing. If that's the case, I'll go out there next year. I'll start to take the starting line. I'll drive around and cross and get me a checkered and be like, give me some penalties. Let's see where I land.
right, yeah,
What's the difference?
yeah. It's like the risk versus reward. He's always going to be dubbed of being the first one across.
Well, that's it. He got all this press for being the first finisher. People were calling him the winner of the race
Right,
way prematurely.
right, yeah,
He ended up 8th. But I think, and this is all hypothetical, and it is, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I think if he runs that course, whichever rock trail it was he went around, I don't know as he finishes it all.
right,
So if you miss a VCP, which is a virtual checkpoint, if you miss a virtual checkpoint, you get a 5-minute penalty. I can understand that. Because if it is a virtual checkpoint, like I miss the days where, and I don't know, maybe they still do this. I remember when you had so many checkpoints at Hammers and you had to stop and you got a sticker to prove you went through that checkpoint. And I don't know if they still do that or if it's all these virtual checkpoints. But that would be easy to miss, especially the virtual checkpoints. If you're, because I think they're allowed 150 foot off the race line. So if you're running 90 mile an hour through the desert and you're in somebody's tire tracks, you're going to go where they go.
Right.
You know, if they miss it, you miss it. And there was a bunch of people that missed the virtuals. But there was nobody that I seen. I went back and looked at the results. There is nobody I seen that got anywhere close to the amount of penalties he got.
Right.
I think if you skip a trail, you are disqualified.
Fair.
I mean, there was a video of Dave talking in one of the, I don't know if it was this year or last year or when it was, but Dave Cole in one of the drivers' meeting, he, out of his own mouth, he said, if you skip a trail, you did not come to run the same race everybody else is running, DQ. I don't like it. I think if you skip a trail, you should be out. If we went and run NRRA and we're like, I really don't want to go up that hill.
Right.
You think they're going to let us get a finish?
No, not at all.
No. It's a joke. Chaney's a really good driver. And if he played the rules, he played the rules. And I'm not knocking him because he's a Can-Am. This could have been anybody. If you do something to get an hour's worth of penalties, you don't deserve to get a finish.